It's the greatest motherfucking Leon Hart of all time. Nostalgia Ball Hits. This song's called The Pusher. By Steppenwolf. Smoked a lot of grass. Anyway, we're going to talk about the pushers of today. And so we're going to start off with the pussy pushers. So there's this chick on YouTube that calls herself, she goes by the name of Jules. And how I even know about this is like it just popped up on my feed one day. And this chick calls herself an essential worker. Okay? This is how fucked up the world has become. Like, this is why I'm saying it is so worth turning down just all chicks and continuing the boycott of, like, fuck them, bro. You know, of just be like, no, it's not worth it. We're not paying for it. We're not fucking wifing you guys up. We're not fucking getting in relationships with you guys. Fuck off. And I'll explain why. So, like, they are ballsy enough to call themselves essential workers. And, you know, I remember the women of old, you know, like now people are listening to porn stars for advice, you know, because they have like a pile of money and they have a nice house and, you know, everything that like influences people. And, you know, I remember when like grandmas gave advice, you know, like I had I had two very smart grandmothers. I had one that was like my rich grandma, you know, that like taught me about business, taught me about like family life, taught me about, you know, how like they raised like six children, you know, and ran a business at the same time, you know, like and you know, like in their spare time they would advise their grandchildren, you know, like such a selfless thing. And these women were making extra money from this, you know, like giving advice, you know, like that they would do that on their free time of like for free. They would advise any younger person about religion. So anyway, so my other grandma was like my broke grandma, you know, and she didn't have shit, you know, and she was like more like of teaching about religion, going to church, you know, teaching like some family values, and just all around an incredible woman. So like for anyone that thinks I just hate all women, I mean I'm breaking it down for you right now. I definitely don't. Like a lot of them I have extreme respect for, but like these were the guiders, you know, like they would guide you while the men were at work, and they would, you know, help like give back to the younger generations with wisdom and knowledge and, you know, advice. And it anyway, so but now we see like porn stars doing this, you know, because like the grandmas are dead, you know, which is sad, you know, but like now it's just like porn stars give advice, and it's like the most brain dead advice ever of like, yeah, just keep giving me money. Like, and they get paid extravagant amounts of money for it. Like, extravagant, like house sums of money to give dumb simps advice. Like, yeah, just continue to use the napkin and the Jergens and fuck off, you know, and send me money and get your ass to work, boy. You know, like, oh, that they can call themselves essential needed workers. You know what's an essential needed worker? Grandmothers, mothers. Those are those are essential needed workers, real mothers, real grandmothers that are dedicated to family and not this like made up fairy tale bullshit, of like, hey, if you keep sending me money, maybe I'll pick you out of the other 8,000 people. Like, fuck that, bro. And so many men sign up for that bullshit, and thank God most like men have sort of woken up to it. But there's still like the more pathetic losers out there that haven't. That like I would argue probably you're like people that are like 18 to like 25 have kind of fallen in that like simp hard for women category and send them all your money and try to like that's fucking cringe. It just gives me the ick. But like it's disgusting seeing this like paradigm shift of like the whole thing of it just being like like grandmothers used to give advice and now it's porn stars. Like it's fucking depressing. It's disgusting. And speaking of disgusting, so we talk about the pussy pushers, and I'm going to take kind of a shift from my usual what you would call misogynistic content, and we are going to talk about cringe dudes. So we're going to get into it right now. So there is a video game reseller named Caleb, and it's like I think his shit's called Phoenix Collects or something like that. He resells fucking video games. And I mean, so people don't really give a fuck about vintage video games as much as they used to. And I think it's because they can't walk in a game store and like get product and stuff. And it is what it is. This is why I just say don't open up a game store either. But so like some people think that it's like going to happen with Pokemon, that since Pokemon's flooded with resellers, and I mean it is, that it could possibly collapse. And I mean that might happen, but I highly doubt it. But even myself, I'm not for resellers. I never was. Like even when Pokemon was cheap 3 years ago, I was never really into seeing people buy like a Fusion Strike box for 80 and sell it for 100 real quick, or like to buy like a box for like 80 or 100 and then like sell it for like $20 more. Like that to me is just like, I don't know, like it's fucking cringe. I mean, I know you could say it's the same thing as holding on to a box for a couple of years and then selling it for like hundreds if not thousands of dollars more. And it's just really cringe. But this guy, like, it's just the guy and how he moves about. But the guy wanted every he wanted every GameCube game, and a bunch of his subscribers sent him like GameCube games and shit, and they basically like because he wanted to collect one of every GameCube game, and as soon as he like got deals on them from people and collected every GameCube game, he literally just like sold them all off. So like that's pretty fucking like this guy's such a little douche. He has like little glasses and he's just like this slimy little fucking reseller, bro. Like the reseller rats, and a lot of them have infiltrated the hobby. That it wasn't really like this 3 years ago. It was more of like everyone, like there was the Pokemon people, the sports card people, the DBZ card people, the Yu-Gi-Oh, the Magic people, and yeah, that was kind of it in the video game community. And then just recently, like pretty much all of those communities have shifted over to Pokemon because that's where the easy tendies are, and there's nothing really better to buy. Even the car dealerships have changed over because there's no money in fucking cars anymore. So like they've all just conveniently went to Pokemon, which is fucking hilarious. Because I think a lot of them are gonna get burnt because they all have short-term mindsets of just like, I gotta buy Prismatic for like 60 or 70 and try to sell it for 100 for an ETB or 125, And I feel like they're just going to get burnt on that. But either way, it's just a wild world we live in. And, like there's pussy pushers, there's card pushers, there's coin pushers, you know. Everyone's pushing something. And it's just like a giant field of just like hustlers, you know, like everyone trying to just hustle each other. And, you know, like I will say on this channel, I don't give a fuck about selling. I don't give a fuck about reselling or flipping. Like, I could give a fuck less. And I could give a fuck less of asking anyone for money, you know, like I don't need it. I have no fucking need for money from anyone, you know. So anyone that thinks that ever going to be into fucking over my fans and subscribers, you're fucking highly mistaken. You will never find that happen. Ever. I don't give a fuck. And, you know, like, don't watch these slimy people. You know, they're all fucking snakes and pieces of shit, you know. But anyway, that's everything we have for this video. I figured you guys might enjoy it. And, you know, just scrolling over the cringe of the internet. And God, is it cringe. More cringe than ever, you know. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. God damn the pusher, man. Have a good one, guys. We're out.